Alright, this here is a standard 2D photo, right? Now, in this photo, you see me and two of my cousins, and someone is handing me a present, and I'm like 4 years old, probably, maybe 5, I don't know. So you see me grabbing for the present, trying to open it as the present is being handed to me, right? And you see my two cousins, both females, right there, right? One red-headed, one brown-headed, right? Now, again, it's not about them, but it's about appearances, right? Now, looking at the photo, there is no depth perception to where you can tell who's where on precisely or how far apart we are. The photo just appears in a way 2D like, right? Now that's the same with Al's photo of appearing to grope the knees in the end's breasts, right? Now, when a 2D picture is taken, right, the image is flat and you cannot tell how far apart I am from her or her. It all looks like we're close together, right? Right. And there's no real depth perception in the photo, right? And you see her hand on the present too, maybe helping me to open it, and mine too, right? I'm actually grabbing it and she's holding on to it too. Right? Right. Or he. It might be my mom or my dad or one of my aunts, right? Says I have two cousins there. They're both female, right? And the thing is, this is probably in the Chatham City apartments and stuff like that, where we used to live in, right? And things like that, right? So, now the whole point though is, when you look at my hand, grabbing the package, right? You cannot tell anything directly except that I appear to be holding the package, but it looks like I'm holding it oddly, as is the person handing me the package there too, right? Now their hand is balled up and they're holding the package one way, and I'm holding it another, trying to take it from them as if someone handing you a package, right? Mm-hmm. Now let's look again at the photo without. Mm-hmm. So, here it is again. Now, by first glance, because of what Al's doing, you cannot see if he's actually touching or not, right? Now, what we need to look at is his actual hands, right? And the shadows and stuff like that, right? Now, this is as close as you can get to 2D, 3D, right? With a 2D photo, right? Now, the way you can tell is called depth perception, right? Now, what determines if someone is really touching someone's breast or not is, are there indenting, are there finger marks on her actual uniform, right? No. You see a shadow, right, under the fingers, but he is not touching her physical breast at all, right? Sorry, my camera's is too bright for you to see the picture accurately, but you still cannot see him actually compressing her breast. He is far away enough where he's not touching them by about, I would say, 1.5 inches. That's just my concept of depth perception through art, right? So let's look at the other hand there too, right? Right here. So again, it appears, right, at first glance like he could be touching her, right? But how do you know, right? You do not see no indentation on her actual uniform where the touch appears to be, which is right in here with the bottom finger, right? Now, when you touch someone like this, if he was really touching her, the uniform would crease, right? See this little napkin? Now, if I put it here and I touch my breast, see how it's creasing? Like that? You can see I'm actually touching and pushing in on the piece of paper here, right? There too. Mm-hmm. So, here's a closer up shot. Mm-hmm. Close as it can get. But you still cannot see him actually touching either breast, right or left, where there's a clear crease in her uniform. You would see a shadow and a crease if he was actually touching her, right? Like I showed you with the napkin just a minute ago, right? Any cloth or material, when it's actually touched, will leave evidence of being touched. Now here, my hand is balled up, holding the package, trying to tear. I'm grasping it like this, right? You know? And I'm really touching it, and you see it's being held firmly by my hand, as is with the person handing me the package as well. Mm-hmm. Right? You can tell all that, right? From this one photo. But from the one with Alan, the news anchor or sports anchor or whatever she is, I've heard both. I don't know. And that story seemed to change a little bit too in the process, right? Again. And I'm just making up two different stories in my story, right? That's all in there too, right? But again, right? This photo shows the difference between actually grabbing something and appearing like you are there too, right? Now, another way to demonstrate that would be, say, something like this, right? Now, even though this doesn't, is just a CD, can you tell how close I am to it just right here? No. Because what? My hand is in front of the CD. Now, am I touching it now? Yeah, you can tell because what's happening. I'm closer to the CD. But if I'm this far away, unless you have line of sight to know the shadow, depth, and something like that, by appearances, if you just look at it and it's a picture, it would look like I'm touching the CD, right? I'll show you that with my phone too, right? And the difference about angles. With a 1D photo versus a 2D photo, a 2D photo, again, versus, a 3D photo or something like that. I can't show you 3D, but anyway, I'll show you what I mean. Now, can you really tell for sure, 100%, whether I'm actually touching the CD from this finger's point of view right there? There you can tell I'm not, but let's look at the finger you do see, right? Is that finger actually touching the CD or the thumb itself? That's called an optical illusion when you cannot see what's really going on there as well, right? Now, Here's another picture. And again, it's from a 2D format. But can you still tell whether I'm actually touching the CD or not? No. The CD does not indent as clothing would, or a breast of a female. When you touch someone physically, you can tell you're touching me, right? Right? You see my indentions there. You see the shadows and the different lights. Now, when I get to a certain image or a certain depth away, if it's a 2D photo, you can't tell, right? But if I'm actually touching it, even in a 2D photo, you will see other things to let you know if the person is being touched not for real or not too, right? That's what I mean too. Even a video, depending on the angle of the video, cannot prove touching actually occurred, right? Even if it did. Now, does it look like any of my fingers are actually touching it? You can't tell from the angle. But really, the middle finger is actually touching it. But you can't really tell by just first glance because it's a 2D photo, right? Now, the only reason I knew is because I know I touched it, right? I remember touching it, right? But this finger, this one here, is too far away to touch it, and that one there is not, but it still appears like it could be, right? You got the first finger, the middle finger, and the ring finger, right? But you still can't fully tell because it's also a little blurry whether I'm touching it here or not either, but I'm not, right? But because it's so close, right, to the other one, it appears in the photo like I am, right? But I'm not. I only touched it with the middle on purpose, right? The reason is depth perception, right? If you're so far away from someone, even if it appears to your eye like they're doing something, it don't mean they are. The word simulate means you're appearing in some way or form to be doing something, but in reality, you're not, right? Now, it would also help if you asked the other person involved in it too, if they felt like they were actually being touched during the photo as well. Well, again. She seemed to be sleeping, what, soundly? Now, you touch my breast and you feel it, I'm gonna wake up, right? I know. So again, I know. That's the whole point there too, right? Now, seems like to me, with Roy, because they're the same party, Trump ain't saying anything. But with Al, he's making a big deal out of Al. How's that, Mr. Trump? I don't know. But again, Roy is not charged with the same thing as Al. Roy is charged with pedophilia, right? Touching a child under the age of 16's breast, which is even illegal in his state of Alabama. It would be what? Pedophilia. Cause why? He's touching the breast of an underage female. Right. Now, you're Roy. Would you admit to that? No. Why? Because you got to jail for it. Now, when I was attacked by my attackers on YouTube, right, I made up two stories that were both logical, but also unprovable. Even if you were to have videotape or something like that, right? Well, the thing is what, right? I was at home in our apartment, sleeping on the couch with my ex-wife and my stepdaughter in the bedroom together, right? Now, in the first place, privacy is twofold, right? I gave my wife and her daughter and myself privacy by sleeping on the couch. We both had our own individual spaces in that apartment, and we were separated through a wall, a door, and even the bathroom. You can close the door there too, right? Now, only thing and only reason the girl might have to leave and go into anywhere between the bedroom and the bathroom, right? Right. At night. Now, again, her mother, again, like I told you, has to prep the child with certain behavior before she goes to bed, right? Right. Wake yourself up, right? So, again, I'm sleeping on the couch, right? And the child's supposed, even if she has to go to the bathroom, is supposed to be told by her mother, if you gotta go to the bathroom, you go straight there and you come back in the bedroom, right? Right. You close the door, you lock the door, whatever you need to do, right? Right. She also got to make sure if I wake up and I want to go to the bathroom myself, I don't go in there with her either. They're things like that, right? But even if I do, I'm going to behave a certain way either way too, right? So that's what I mean, right? About the rules of how to raise your children, we should all know anyway. Now, of course, Daphne's job is to keep her daughter safe until morning once y'all go to sleep, right? And if she's in there with her, she should be fine, right? Right. Unless she has to go to the bathroom real quick, and then she tells the child just go there and back, right? Right. So I'm sleeping on the couch, and she's sleeping in there with her mom. What should happen till morning? Nothing. Right? I mean, my wife already said it never happened to the police department in Garden City, right? No one has disputed that or proved anything else could have happened, right? Except for the trolls on YouTube, right? Who will not let it go. Right? Like they're obsessed with me and they don't even know me. And that's why I'm teaching about illusion, right? And delusion, right? Right. Now, only way someone who wasn't there could know about anything that could have happened there is what? Entrapment. Entrapment. What's the difference between entrapment and, again, someone committing a crime? The person has to do something wrong themselves, and it does not have to be something they would or wouldn't normally do, right? The thing is, though, it's also how they interact with someone that determines true criminal intent or not. In both my stories I just described, me sleeping on the couch, the child coming in there so far to me maybe, which anyone can make up whether it happened or not. I did describe certain behaviors that a step-parent can always do with their child no matter what. Or you're being overboard about what a parent's rights are to begin with, right? Now the thing is, her stepmom on Sal's side and me being Daphne's step-husband, step-husband to the girl, we both have certain privileges and responsibilities to the child either way. Now, if you wake up with the child in there with you, your first duty is to find out if she wants anything, right? Now, again, the communication factor is key, right? You can talk to the child, or you can do something with her of different various activities, right? All right. So this is just, again, a hypothetical of what could have happened, not based upon my memory, but the trolls on YouTube's memory, right? Which they're not supposed to have a memory of. Because no one, like I said, except for me and Daphne and the child, could even know anything after we all fall asleep, except that we fell asleep, right? Right. And we're reasonably expected to sleep until what? Morning, right? We all are. Now, if anything else occurs, it's not just my job to investigate what's going on. It's also my wife's if I tell her something that could have happened there too, right? And it's not my job to make sure specifically what I do with her. It all depends on my reasoning behind doing what I'm doing with her, right? Right. Now, if I've been exposed to molestation myself, my first thought could be either way, is what she's even doing here with me in the first place, right? Then I might see what she would to a point let me do, and that's why I talked about maybe undressing her or things like that, and maybe simulating certain activities that I know anyone could do to a point. Sticking out your tongue is a normal thing you do with a 4-year-old or younger, right? Now, what's a child's favorite word after 2? No! Right? What is the first word a child will learn before mom or dad or whatever? No! Now, what does a child that's 2 years old tell you all the time? No! Right? How many times a day does a child at 2 years old say no? No! Sometimes they just say it for the hell of it. No! Right? We know that, right? So again, what is a child supposed to do if a strange man is undressing her in the first place? What's she supposed to say? No! Right? Because that's the first word you learn to say it too, right? And she don't even know the man, right? Second, right? If she lets the man undress her further, and the man just sticks out his tongue a little bit with her to see what she does, and he only does it one time, what is he doing there, right? Just, playing with her normally, right? Now, even if it appears, because you're not supposed to have a video in the first place, but let's say there was one, right? It would depend on where the camera angle is, and stuff like that too. How far away is it from the actual image too, right? It produces on the video. Now, there's a ceiling view, a right angle view, a left angle view, a front angle view, a bottom angle view, under the child, or something like that, right? Now, the only way with a camera you can tell if someone is actually touching their private parts is what? A camera underneath looking up at her vagina. There wasn't one, alright? In the first place. Now, there could have been a camera around the TV, but it would have to be a hidden camera, or in the ceiling. Now, if it's in the ceiling, all you would do is see someone raise and lower their head a little bit. Now, in the side view, hypothetically, you might see the person appear to get a little close, but you wouldn't be able to tell if they actually touched it or not. Things like that, right? We're talking about an illusion. Right? Now, even a camera produces what? A 2D image. Why? Now, here's a video I took earlier in my bathroom. It's no big deal. It's just, a trash can, a couple of old toilet tissue holders and stuff like that, right? That's stuff in my bathroom, right? Now look at the trash can there, right? That's what I'm trying to teach you about depth perception, right? Now, you cannot tell by the photo specifically what's really going on depending on how far something is away from something. Now, can you really tell if those two toilet paper tissue holders are touching or not? You really can't tell because of what depth perception, alright? Now, only way to find out, though, is to get what? A closer angle photo, right? Now here, it looks a little bit like they could be, but you still can't fully tell, right? Can you tell here? It looks like they might not be touching by what? A few millimeters. But can you really tell fully? No, because of light and shadow, right? And it's a what? 2D photo. Any photo taken on a camera, unless it can produce 3D imaging, right, is a 2D photo, right? Reason is, a camera cannot capture 3D pictures at all. Because of the lens. Our eyes can, right? We can see depth, stuff like that. But my face is flat to you, right? You cannot tell my face is round even though it is, right? From the side, you can see it. But a person's face is not flat, but round, right? That's why the Shroud of Turin, for example, is a forgery, right? The face is not wrapped around someone's head. It's a flat image on a cloth made as if art, right? Now the thing is, when you wrap an object around someone's head, it will conform to the head and flatten, and it will be distorted when you unwrap it, not flat. So the Shroud of Turin is proven 100% a work of art, just by showing you what 2D and 3D look like, right? It is a 2D attempt to draw the face and suffering of Jesus, but it's still just a work of art. Even if it was Peter, right? Peter too would be wrapped with the cloth, right? The cloth would be draped over the body, right? There was no physical way to produce that kind of image where it looks like a photograph, as it does when they were testing it, either. A 2D photo of a cloth might get produced the image you see on the shroud when they photographed it as well. But an actual person's face would not, right? Because in trying to explain the difference between wrapping the head versus, the image on the shroud, they showed the difference between wrapping someone's head in the cloth using a little version of a crucified Jesus as well, and then showing that when they wrapped the head of the figure and they unwrapped it, the face was distorted and not clear, right? So that's proven a work of art, right? No matter what it dates back to as well. Again. So like I keep telling you, depth perception is what's key when you're looking through a still image. Do you know what I mean? Am I touching my head? Or not? Can you tell from that alone? No. You can't tell. Only I know if I touched it or not. Only someone else will know if I was to touch them or not. If they said, no, I did not, then what? You did not. I did not. And they would know. Even if you thought, only I know. I know. Then I did. Can you tell now? And what would happen when I touch it? Saliva. Thank you. Have a nice day.